It's January 25th, and it's been about a month since I first came down to Florida to purchase my James Wharram Tehini 51-foot catamaran. This time around, my goals were simple: meet some great people, grab some supplies for the boat, help Bennett with one of his projects, and most importantly, fully measure out my boat so we can translate that data into a CAD model for the design. But first, pizza with Bennett, the guy who sold me the amazing catamaran. And this is where it gets real. Having the privilege to actually see my buddy Bennett's own Tehini for inspiration to what to do with mine. Such a killer experience. Oh shit, dude. Dude, this thing is fucking massive. This thing is massive. Oh no, dude. Ay ay ay. Oh snap. Dude, oh man. Wooden broke problems, man. There's a 51 Tehini. That is so cool, dude. Really cool. It's my buddy Bennett's Tehini 51 Wharram catamaran. I came down here to check it out, get some inspiration for mine, and Bennett actually helped me get mine, so I am grateful for my man. But not everything in the boatyard is picture perfect. As I look around, I see the line of abandoned sailboat projects and boats under repair, and it's a sombering reminder. Some of these dreams get left behind, and at the same time, it fuels my determination. I don't want my boat to end up like this, and I want to see it finish sailing and thriving. On a lighter note, here's Bennett's side project, a 14-foot fishing boat I came down to help him finish, and hopefully we'll get to take it out of the water before the trip's over. Look at that, that's fucking crazy. Pump action, bro.
You gotta fill it up till it comes out of the drain all up here.
Getting a whole safari tour out here. Mm-hmm. Oh shit, money shot.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh shit.
There's no water in here or nothing.
Next, it was time to tackle the motor. It hadn't been started in months, so we replaced the oil, checked the wiring, tested the battery, and even inspected the fuses, but no luck. It just wouldn't start. While we were sitting stumped trying to figure out what was going on with this motor and why we couldn't get it to start, we had to also tackle a couple other issues, things like installing the throttle cables, the wiring, etc., just so that we can go ahead and finish off this project and hopefully get it in the water this week that we're down here. That's where the beauty of the boatyard community comes in. 0, 1.8, 1.7. Enter Brent, a wizard when it comes to electronics. He jumped in and helped us diagnose the problem even further, and this is why I love boatyards so much. The people, the shared knowledge, and the willingness to help. You're never alone, and you're part of this kind of community down here where people are willing to help you out, lend their knowledge, and even their tools so that they can ensure that you can get on your boat faster and not have to stay in the boatyard.
Potentially, yes. And I agree with you. We can test your solenoid here, but if we test it here, then you're testing the whole resistance of the wire and the starter. It would just save you from testing it next.
So should I take that off and just clean it? Or
we're going to pull it off and we're going to hit the starter again with the voltmeter on it. Okay. And if it gets 12 volts out of that end, then you could be pulling your voltage to ground, not enough to blow a fuse or smoke anything, but enough to not, you'd create a voltage drop. And so all we're doing is measuring the voltage drop through our coil to our starter.
Okay.
And what we thought was just a simple motor issue ended up being a bigger project, with the starter itself being bad, our batteries not being able to hold the charges that they were supposed to charge, and maybe some little problems here with the wiring configuration that we did ourselves. Thanks to Brent, we were able to locate and figure out what was going on and how to fix it, eventually replacing the starter itself and actually getting the engine to start for us, which was pretty rad at this point. As I walked through the yard, I couldn't help but think about my own journey. Seeing these massive motor yachts and ongoing projects reminded me that repairing a boat isn't just a task, it's a commitment. It's something people pour their hearts into, and that's what makes it worth it. Later, we hopped in the truck to head down to the launch ramp. Brent told us his 35-foot Bennett Happy Jack was just getting hauled out of the water for some repairs and storage, and I'd never seen this process in action before, so I was pretty excited to watch it all unfold. I've always been a dreamer, a believer in myself, and knowing that whatever I put my mind towards, I can accomplish. Seeing these other people having to do this type of work on their boats and hauling it out is just more fuel to the fire of inspiration to one day see my boat also being hauled out one day for repairs or what have you. Watching Happy Jack come out the water was nerve-wracking to say the least. Seeing a boat that size swinging back and forth as it's lifted, man, it's enough to get your heart racing. After some much needed excitement, the crew finally got the boat out of the water and onto land. Though, I will tell you, it was pretty cool to see this giant thing massively moving like it was nothing. But the crew is top notch, ensuring everything went perfectly fine. You guys almost shit yourselves seeing that?
I've done it several times.
Yeah, dude.
You always, it's your home. So.
Yeah, that was my first time seeing that, and I was like, my butthole was tight, dude, seeing that.
Yeah.
It's only been a couple of days, and the things that I've seen and got to experience in this beautiful little boatyard have been magical. Though I have limited experience as this is the only boatyard that I've ever visited in person, it still was so easy for me to fall in love with the people, the boats, the views, the experiences, etc. And if you guys are ever in the market for finding something similar to this, here's the information to the little boatyard here in LaBelle, Florida. And here we are, back to what brought us to LaBelle in the first place. My buddy Bennett's 51-foot James Wharram Tehini Catamaran. It's such a surreal experience to actually be this close and up front to a partially finished project catamaran. And for those that don't know, James Wharrams were originally designed so that the average home builder could have their own DIY sailboat. These traditionally built out of plywood and home built skills were designed for the person like you and me so that we can own a catamaran built off the backs of our own labor. It's a real honor to be one of the new owners of a project, and hopefully we'll get to see it through and sailing. Though not completely built by me, it's still very amazing in my opinion to say that I had a hand in building something that will bring me joy for many years to come. Check this out, the first little animal we found out here in Florida. A little gecko. It's too cold for this little dude to be out here, but I thought it was pretty neat. See a little animal like this hanging out. Oh, he's gone. I'm gonna let him go. He can live a little happy life, hopefully. Oh shit.
Steamer and shit in it. Yeah, I wanted to put that in mine, but this thing's just too fucking big.
So what we're doing right now is getting out a bunch of supplies that we had for my boat. These things were built out for some electrical stuff, and we're gonna take them over to my boat and store them somewhere to keep them safe until we get the build down. But while we're here, if you guys are interested, there was a lot of electronics that came originally with my build that we're no longer going to be using. We're going to move away from these components. But the big thing here is if anybody's interested in stuff, obviously I'll put you in contact with a buddy of mine that has this stuff for you guys. We got a giant reel winch here so you can put your anchor up front. This is one of the designs that they were originally going to go with for my boat, and I don't think this is just a little bit overkill for what I want to do. And the biggest thing would be these. There you go, quiet torque electric yacht motors. Beautiful systems, and we have the entire electrical system for these guys. This is just something I'm not gonna go with for my boat, but if you guys are interested, it's definitely there for you guys. After we were done looking through the storage container, I happened to stumble upon something that stopped me right in my tracks. An abandoned James Wharram just rotting away in the boatyard. Forgotten and falling apart. It was heartbreaking to see, but at the same time, it lit a fire in me. I don't want my dream to end up like this, just like probably the owner of this boat didn't want to happen either. But in the end, it's just more motivation to get my boat finished. And hopefully sailing blue water very soon on our way to Indonesia to do the work that we promised ourselves we were going to do. At the end of the day, I found myself climbing on the top of Bennett's Catamaran, taking a moment to just breathe and take it all in. From up here, the view of the boatyard stretches out before me, lines of the boats in every direction, each one with its own story. Some are finished, polished, and ready for the venture, while others sit abandoned, weathered by time and neglect. It's hard not to feel a mix of emotions standing here. I can't help but think about how far I've come since I first dreamed about owning my own boat. And yet looking out over the yard, I know there's still such a long way to go, but that's part of the beauty of it. The process, the growth, and the connections you make along the way. This is just the beginning. There's so much more to see, so many people to meet, and so much work ahead. But as the sun sets on this beautiful day, I can feel it. I'm on the right path. And to top it all off, Happy Jack ended up being parked right behind Bennett's boat. Funny how things work out, right? You meet new people, you get to be friends, you talk, you chat, and then the world just lets you know, hey, let's make this happen for you guys. So it's pretty cool to see that we get to be inspired by other projects and other people, and hey, it leads to a community being built. One of the cool things again that I admire so much of the people that live here in boatyards, spending their time working and getting their boats ready to cross oceans or even just cruising down the coastline. I wouldn't trade this experience for the world. It's only been about 3 to 4 days here down in Florida, and we have so much still to see. So I can't wait to show you guys what's to come. We haven't even seen my own personal boat yet, so stay tuned for the next videos. This is your boy Eddie, and we'll talk to you guys soon.